Fantastic. Cool. So how's it going? My name is Katie Day. I am based out of Houston, Texas. Thanks for everyone that is here today. I'm excited to present and share some of, our content and info and stuff. Kenny asked for kind of real life examples, kind of what we do to produce content and video for social. So today I'm going to dig into kind of where we were at when we got started and then what we do today and kind of the progression there. So some context for me and my team: I got into real estate in 2017 full time. I started a team in 2018. We added a buyer's agent. 2019 was focused more on process and systems and content. And this year we're focused on growth and adding team members. Again, I am based in Houston. I know my fellow panelists are in California. So if you are in another city or a state, shoot me a DM. We're always looking for referral partners throughout the country. So always have to plug that there. All right, so as far as content goes, just to give you an idea as to what we do, we're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. For other video stuff, we also do BombBomb, so video tech or video emails and video texts, and then just plain video texts like shooting from your phone and texting that to someone. One thing that I wanted to point out before kind of getting started was defining your target audience. So this isn't just your ideal customer, but also what you're looking to achieve from social media. So everything that we do on social is going to be intentional, and there's a reason why we're doing it. For me, as far as like my goal with social, we want to provide value for consumers. So when they look, me or our team up, they see that we have real estate and market knowledge, and that we, know what we're doing, right? I also want people to get to know me as a person and my personality. In addition to that, I also want to connect with referral partners across the country to be their go-to person for Houston real estate. So we do things that are, property and real estate related, but then also kind of real estate industry related as well. So that may or may not be something that you're trying to do, but it's important, again, to define your target audience. I think one of the things is, I'm sure everyone's heard this before, but you can't be for everyone. I think the saying something like, if you try to be all things to all people, then you won't be anything to anybody. So it's really important, again, to define your target audience. And then the content that you're putting out is directed toward those people. There's going to be people out there that don't like it, and that's completely fine. I think that it'd be great if everyone that contacts you based on, what they're seeing about you online or the type of people that you want to work with and the type of people you get along with. So that's why, we do put in some other lifestyle stuff and personal things in there as well, on our Instagram and on our social. But that's a way bigger topic that I, could dig into way deeper. So I will dig into the topic for the day. So what I'm going to focus on today is kind of starting out versus scaling up. So focus tools, things that you need to get started, apps and software to, continue to raise the bar of your videos, and then content. So ideas for leveraging, your personal brand and things that you can do there. So as far as tools to start out, couple of things to just kind of raise the bar from just shooting with just your phone would be a selfie light, a lav mic, and a tripod. As far as the selfie light goes, I've got now. It just is going to make the picture more clear. If you're shooting a property tour or something and it's not the greatest lighting, it's going to give you better lighting. Pretty straightforward there. A lav mic is the mic that you clip on to your shirt. And we use those connected to our phone. And it just improves the quality of sound, which is always good. Most people don't listen to videos with sound, as Ken said, but when they should be good. If you turn on the sound and it's all garbled, they probably won't listen. And then tripods, again, pretty self-explanatory. It's going to raise the level of which your phone is at. So we've all been on Zoom calls, I'm sure, over the past week where the person's like, you're seeing their chin and all that. So when you use a tripod, it's going to, help people to be able to see see you better. So I've linked some of the ones that I use here. That's the selfie light that's sitting on my computer right now, and the mic that's on my table right now as well. As far as tools to scale up, I think the biggest thing that I'd like to point out before going into this is to do your research on anything that you're going to spend more than $50 on. these are things that we've started to spend money on, and things that we have. But I can tell you that I have an entire drawer of stuff upstairs in my house of just like camera stuff that I don't use, or that I purchased used one and like didn't want to figure out how to use it. So do your research if you're going to spend more than $50 on anything, and then actually commit to learning how to use it and optimizing it. If you're going to not shoot videos that frequently, it may make sense to just use your phone and then pay a videographer, as Kenneth was saying. So really have that honest conversation with yourself before you run out and buy a camera and all of these things. So as far as things that we like, I like the idea of the wireless mics, and I have this one. So instead of having a mic that is on your shirt or on your collar, you can tuck it in other places, and you don't have it out. And Rode is pretty high quality. If you're doing property videos, kind of said as well, stabilizers are very important. I have the DJI Osmo Mobile, and I also have the Osmo Pocket that he mentioned as well. This one's another good one that's well rated. I've never used it, but I know they're both pretty popular. And then as far as scaling up here, this is where things start to get pricey. So cameras and lenses, I think that camera there that's pictured is like $2,000, and lenses are hundreds of dollars each. So again, do your research, make sure you're actually going to use it. Light kits, green screens, things like that. And then drones, again, these are all things that are going to make your videos look great. As Kenneth was saying, in almost all of their property videos, they toss in drone footage. Not only is it helpful for, understanding a neighborhood area, it also makes your videos look really good. But they're expensive, right? So if you're not going to fly a drone and you're just selling homes, focus on finding a videographer, that can do that for you. All right, so moving on to apps. As far as starting out, a couple apps that are really helpful, Canva for design tools. So for thumbnails, logos, channel art, Instagram stories, presentations, flyers. I mean, you can literally make anything. We make actual postcards through Canva. We print flyers through Canva sometimes. You can really do anything on there. One thing that I really like about Canva, or two things actually. One is that you can design something on your computer and then also have the app on your phone. So it's interchangeable there. And then the other thing is if you're on a team or you lead a team and you create something in there, you can share that with your team, and then they can change it with like their contact info and stuff like that. So it's really helpful to be able to create, cohesive content across, your office or your team or something like that. Other things as far as apps to start out, going live. Going live is super easy, especially right now because everyone's home. You've got a super engaged and captive audience right now. So it's, very easy to go live. And then you don't have to edit it, right? So not only are you a lot of eyes on a video very soon, you don't have to edit it, super easy. And then finally, iMovie. iMovie is probably one of the easiest editing softwares out there that's a little bit higher level. So you can do a little bit more stuff in it than just like, I don't even know what else you could do on your phone, but it's super easy on your phone. You can just click all the videos you want, add some text, add some music, and then you've got a video. You can also interchange. So if you, are using it on your phone, you can push it to your iPad computer and do more stuff there. So those are all really cool. As far as scaling up, a couple of things that we use, a teleprompter for when we're doing any sort of like scripted videos or any videos where, market updates, stuff where there's a lot of stats or numbers that we're not going to remember, or we don't want to read off a piece of paper off screen. So it's super easy to use on your phone. For captions, I really like that Facebook and YouTube can both pre-caption your videos. But as Kenneth said, you have to go through and make sure that they're accurate, because their accuracy is probably like 85% accurate. And I tend to talk pretty quickly. So it really screws up my captions, just if I'm going to be completely honest. So I use Rev. You do have to pay for that. So you can either upload the video file, or you can, if it's on YouTube, link that video file, and you will receive your captions back within 24 hours or less. So that's still there. And then as far as editing software, both Adobe Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro cost money. I use Premiere Pro, and I had experience with like Photoshop and Illustrator in the past. So both of them take a little bit of time to learn and they cost money. So if you're not going to actually put the time into doing it, use iMovie or use something, you know, on your phone. And then if you have the time to sit through some, you know, classes or tutorials, then do, you know, Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro. But that's kind of scaling up as far as, you know, quality on videos. And then finally, content ideas. So you know, if you're already doing a lot of video, you may have already thought of all of these things or are doing all of these things. But like I generally will categorize content into 2 different categories, or a few, but basically everything's going to rank differently on different sites. So like what people will sit and watch on YouTube isn't what someone's going to watch on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever. So don't get too caught up on like view count. For things like YouTube, it is important to keep things as cohesive as possible. But that's just a whole nother topic that I won't go into today. So, but basically end of story, don't get too caught up on view count. You always want to have and produce evergreen content. So evergreen content is content that's timeless and can be relevant and possibly educational. So that would be like the buyer and seller guides. That would be actual neighborhoods or areas of town, like the first video that kind of showed. And then the other category of content would be stuff that is timely and relevant now. So for that, it could be a weekly or monthly show. For those, I would recommend doing some stuff that's non-real estate related. So like, you know, neighborhood spotlights or things that things that interest you and you can be super excited to talk, you know, so that people can feel your excitement and want to listen to it. So like food, restaurants, sports, cooking, golf, things like that. If it's non-real estate related, or if it's real estate related stuff, that's cool too. So think like home tips, like a weekly home tip or technology tips, things like that. Property tours, pretty self-explanatory. That's great for Facebook Live and Instagram Live, just as far as content goes. But as far as raising the bar on that, you know, you can get a gimbal and do stuff yourself, or, you know, there are so many videographers that are out there that can do this really well. So it's something that, you know, you can go super high production quality and spend, you know, $800 or $1,000, like Kenneth was saying, or, you know, you can find a lot of people out there that may not be, you know, 1,000% production quality, but may do it a little bit less or a little bit cheaper, and, you know, just kind of continue to find videographers to help you out there. Outside of that, lifestyle videos or spotlight videos, these always get a lot of views because you're basically cross promoting with another brand. If something's hot and new, chances are people want to watch it. So you'll get a lot of views on that. People will be searching it. And then long-term, it provides you with evergreen content. And then finally, vlog style content. You know, a lot of what we do is pretty boring, but some of what we do is interesting. So, I mean, there's thousands of things you can do here. So like navigating a tough transaction, day in the life, you know, whatever type content, behind the scenes stuff people like. So main takeaways: consistency. You have to post every day and across all platforms. As Kenneth said too, it needs to be native content. So you need to post the actual videos on Facebook and on YouTube. Don't take the YouTube or Vimeo link and put it on Facebook. Post the actual video. Be authentic. You know, if you mess up and it's not perfect, put it out anyways. You know, there's a lot of people out there that aren't doing any video today. So having some video that may not be 100%, you know, 98% is fine. And it shows you're human. So that's not a terrible thing. And then make a plan. So create a plan that is scalable, and a framework for your content. So if that's starting out with 1 weekly video and doing that once a week for a month, and then next month layering in a second video and doing 2 a week for a month, you know, plan out the next 2 to 3 months of content, especially now while you have the time, and then find someone to hold you accountable to do that. You're far more likely to do that as opposed to, you know, saying I'm going to shoot a video a day for the next 30 days. And yeah, that probably won't happen. So yeah, that's all that I've got. I appreciate you guys letting me ramble for 10 to, I don't know, 15 minutes here. Question, shoot me a DM. Love to connect on Instagram is probably the easiest way, the app I'm on the most.